All right. Hey, gang. First of all, good morning, good afternoon, happy Monday. It's certainly a pleasure to be hosting this call today, and this is the exclusive preview of WebexOne. I'd also like to welcome our extended partner community on. So we're actually doing an extended family call today. So we have our core collaboration team globally, as well as our key and critical partners on the call. So partners, welcome. Thank you for all you're doing. Thank you for all that you will be doing post this session. And we're eager to share. All right, let's jump right in. So as you may imagine, we are using the luscious brilliance of Slido during this session. So again, the goal is to make sure that we are all feeling engaged, that we are all feeling included. And so please, if you don't mind, grab this QR code. Also grab the code if you happen to do that on your web browser. And we will have some ongoing Q&A as well as some polling throughout the balance of the session. From an agenda perspective, many of you that had a chance to attend the check-in last week heard Aruna kind of give an overview of what we're doing at WebexOne. This is the next level of detail. So for us to be adequately prepared post the session and to make sure that we are ready for the landfall of customer and partner interest as we have some of these announcements and content shared today. Javed will step through the innovation piece and again talking about some of the key and critical capabilities that we'll be discussing and sharing during the WebexOne session over the next couple of days, Tuesday, Wednesday. And then at the end, we will have an open Q&A and again, facilitated by Slido. So we'll have actual folks on the Q&A answering real time and we'll have some panelists standing by as well. Okay, before we jump right in, gang, just a couple things. We are in the last week of Q1. So the most exciting time of the week. A whole bunch of activity, a whole bunch of work going on. So I realize that taking time out to watch this session is taking time away from Q1, but it's super, super important. This would be the equation of the and. Both are critical. Let's close Q1 strong, and let's make sure we're also preparing for registering customers for WebexOne, getting one more blast out there. Aruna told me that 50,000 registries is not acceptable, so she was applying some strong pressure on this morning. So we have a stretch goal of 75,000, between 50 and 75, and the closer to 75, the less pressure Aruna is going to apply to me direct. So I greatly appreciate that. And then, oh, by the way, did I say focus on closing Q1 strong? Lots and lots of deals out there, lots of customers to liberate from antiquated technology. So this is the time. And again, if there's anything that we can be doing either within the BU or within the sales leadership team to help out on Q1, please let us know. But with that said, we're going to actually turn to Aruna. And we're going to talk about the WebexOne event. One disclaimer, and Aruna, I'm sorry, I'm going to cover this real quick. Just, again, goes without saying, but this content is under embargo until the event itself. Please no screen caps, please no tweets, please no dropping it on social media. This briefing is meant for us to be prepared, us to be responsive to our customers and partners post the session. So with that said, Aruna, turn it over to you. So thank you very much, and thank you for being here.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Scott, for basically giving me an opportunity to come and preview WebexOne to our sellers as well as to our partners. Welcome, everyone. And like Scott said, please, no screen captures. Feel free to take the screen captures, but use it tomorrow, not today. Okay, so again, at a very, very high level, every one of you should know what is WebexOne, but at a very high level, it's a 2-day global digital event. If you go to webexone.com, it'll give you the entire agenda across the board. We have some fantastic lineup of speakers. I'm quickly going to preview that during the course of the section. Day 1 is going to be focused on hybrid work. Day 2 is going to be focused on customer experience. We have some amazing customers, 30 plus customers who are actually going to be speaking in our keynote as well as in our 30 broadcast sessions. It's a global event, meaning that we are doing the follow the sun model across Americas, EMEA, as well as APJC. Like Scott said, this year, our goal is to basically meet the stretch goal of 75K. As I looked this morning, we are close to 46,000 registrants. Thank you to all of our sellers as well as our partners who played an important role in terms of being able to help us drive towards those registrations. But guys, we want to raise the bar. At last year's WebexOne, we had about 39,000 registrants. At the Hybrid Work Made Real event, we had about 47,000 registrants. and we need your help in order to basically beat the numbers across the board in order to get close to 75,000. And we know from prior experience running a lot of events that the last day, the day before the event, is when we get a huge surge of the number of attendees who basically register for the event. So please leverage all of the content our teams have actually built in order to make that outreach to your underlying customers. We have also raised the goal in terms of the keynote views for WebexOne last year. Our goal was 1 million. This year, we are basically going to shoot for the stars and hope to achieve about 5 million keynote views. And sentiment last year was about 96.5%. And this year, we want to basically achieve a larger goal. Each time, we want to outdo our bars. And again, depending upon all of your help in order to basically meet those goals. Okay, digital lineup, unbelievable, amazing digital lineup. Day one, like I said, focused on hybrid work. Day two is focused on customer experience. When we have done events last year, customer experience only got like a 30-minute session last year during WebexOne. As you can see over here, we are definitely sending a direct message to the market that Cisco on the collaboration side is not just focused on the hybrid work, but it's also focused on customer experience. And so you will see a fantastic lineup of innovations, announcements, which we're actually going to launch with respect to day two. Okay, what is another exciting thing? Which will basically give every one of you the opportunity to basically sell socio. For the very, very first time in the history of Cisco events, we are going to send a message to the entire world that we drink our own champagne. So this event, WebexOne, is actually hosted on our own portfolio, which is Socio, which is a part of Webex Events. And this is a very strong message in order to send to our customers, also to our partners, so that we are demonstrating to the entire world that we basically drink our own Kool-Aid or drink our own champagne. So please make sure you can send that message to all of your customers without a doubt. And post WebexOne, we will have a lot of assets, which my team is actually going to be building, which will showcase all of the capabilities we actually leveraged in order to basically run WebexOne on Socio. The other thing is the platform experience. If you are registered for WebexOne, you would have already seen a preview in terms of the platform experience. It's just phenomenal. As you can see over here, we also the entire platform experience is now in our WebexOne, in our Webex branding. As you can see over here, you'll see if you register now, you can see that a lot of customers and prospects are already leveraging the various different capabilities. They've already built their various different agenda, and lots and lots of people are actually playing our level up game. So if you go into the level up game, this is another incentive we are bringing to market this year. Is every one of the people who have registered, specifically customers and partners, now have an opportunity to participate in this particular game. There is going to be a leaderboard which is already live and available, which shows you who is basically scoring on higher numbers with respect to the leaderboard. And final winners will have an opportunity to basically do a virtual meet and greet with the two McLaren race car drivers, Lando Norris as well as Daniel Ricciardo. So please make sure, again, that is another incentive in order to basically get your customers as well as partners registered for the event, because the opportunity to basically win the two race car driver, to meet the race car drivers. Okay, now let's talk about the experience. So this year at WebexOne, we really wanted to elevate. And so the theme for WebexOne is about elevate. It's about elevating people. It's about elevating communities, organizations, our customers, and going back to what we actually stand for here at Cisco WebEx, which is about inclusivity. It's about being able to make sure that we can unlock the potential, regardless of the country, the geography, the location, culture, social economic level, or the personality type. It's about breaking down all of the barriers and elevating everyone around the world. And you will see that common theme across all of the innovations we are launching, both on day one as well as day two. But outside that, we knew that the world has got too much amount of virtual event fatigue, and many events have started to basically open up, and it's becoming face-to-face events. And so knowing that especially for day one, we decided to orchestrate and launch a lot of our amazing innovations in a completely different way. So having said that, what we have decided to do on day one is to show our customers, prospects, and the entire world how they can actually reimagine hybrid work. When I say reimagine hybrid work, it's about visually demonstrating how they can visually bring a lot of our technology along with our technology partner ecosystem and reimagine the various different spaces. And so what we have done this year is physically built out 12 new spaces, which will demonstrate all of our innovations, whether you're working from home, working from anywhere, or working from the office. Very, very quickly, I'm actually going to preview the various different 12 spaces we have actually built. And Javed is actually going to preview all the amazing innovations which we are actually going to bring to market very shortly in the various different spaces. So first one is work from home. So when you think about work from home, the first space which you will actually see is the kitchen. Here we'll unveil some of our amazing innovations like our beautiful Webex Desk Mini, our new headset 730. We are also going to talk about our larger ecosystem products with the Meraki Z3. And it's not just about the hardware. When you think about the spaces, it's also about how you can actually leverage our Webex app and our underlying software in order to make work happen. So you will see a lot of these spaces in the 20-minute section part of the keynote, where Javed is the main host for that particular section. Each room, each space where we will unveil our new innovations has a host, and the host is either one of our engineering leaders, one of our product managers, or one of our product marketing managers, or one of our designers. So we actually leverage our own teams in order to basically unveil the various different innovations in the various different spaces. And this 20-minute video is going to become the hybrid work video, not just for Cisco WebEx, but for Cisco. Because we are, as you can see over here, it's not just about unveiling the WebEx products, it's being able to tell the hybrid work story from Cisco. And this becomes the foundational element of a 20-minute video, which we are hoping that you guys will have an opportunity to showcase to your customers who will potentially join WebexOne. So the first part was work from home. Here is work from anywhere. And we'll basically show you all the use cases which customers will potentially leverage when you think about a coffee shop. Same thing with the doctor's office, which is frontline worker. Then you will go into reimagining work spaces in the office as people start reimagining their office workspaces. The first one is the lobby. We'll give you all the use cases around unveiling when people actually check into the lobby. From there, we'll go into a jump room. From the jump room, we'll go into a hot desk ink space, which has two important use cases: a regular knowledge worker, which is where we'll talk about the desk hub as well as the desk camera, as well as a call center. And so both of these use cases will be talked about in the hot desking space. From there, we'll go into a small conference center. From the small conference center, we are actually going to go into the boardroom, where we'll talk about our room panorama. From there, we'll go into an ideation space, where we'll unveil the beautiful new Board Pro 75 as well as 55. From there, the last stop is going to be a NOC, a Network Operations Center, or an IT Administration Console, where we'll bring the power of Cisco on Cisco, where we'll talk about our deep integration with Control Hub, DNA Spaces, Meraki Insight, as well as Thousand Eyes.
Work is no longer a place we go, it's what we do. I'm going to take you on a journey from the home to the office and in between. And it's unlike anything we've ever done before.
Okay, so that was a 1-minute trailer for a 20-minute keynote section where we're actually going to take our customers, prospects, and everyone through a hybrid work reimagination journey. Okay, so please make sure, like I said, this is your opportunity to send this to every one of your customers. So while we basically built these physical spaces in San Francisco and shot the entire production, we also basically invited 7 different customers to actually do a preview of these various different spaces. What I can share with the team, guys, is that these customers like Apple, Facebook, Visa, Salesforce, Agilent, JLL, and Hanson Bridget were the 7 different customers who actually physically walked through the various different hybrid workspaces in San Francisco. The feedback was just phenomenal. And some of the interesting things we actually saw was we actually had the head of IT as well as the head of facilities actually show up in San Francisco, and we took them through a tour, the same tour which Javed is actually going to give as a part of the keynote. And we know that telling the story through the various different spaces gives an opportunity to tell a story in a very unique way, where Cisco is the only company which has the entire sets of product set in order to make this happen for our customers. And we got that feedback firsthand from every one of the customers. So we know that this kind of an experiential way of being able to tell the story, because all of this is going to become post WebexOne will become assets for every one of you to actually leverage in order to tell the story to your underlying customers as well. Same thing, we actually brought all of these analysts together and gave them a preview into the various different spaces, and you'll see that every one of them are going to write amazing articles on various different editorial during the day of WebexOne. Okay, that's not it. You guys should have already seen it on WebexOne.com. We have an amazing lineup of speakers this year. So for the Luminary keynote, you have Sarah Blakely. She's the founder and CEO of Spanx. Her company was just recently sold earlier part of this week to the Blackstone Group for several $1 billion. And then we also have Simone Biles, who actually talks about courage, resilience, and about being able to focus on yourself, which around mental health, which is a very important topic when you think about hybrid work, who facilitated an amazing conversation with Fran. And last but not the least, we have 2 astronauts. Dr. Sion Proctor, who was on the SpaceX mission, which returned back from space a couple of weeks ago, as well as Dr. Nicole Stott, who's one of the NASA astronauts and has been a part of several different missions across the board. In addition to that, we not just have luminary speakers, we have 30 plus customer speakers speaking throughout our entire 2-day event. We have keynote speakers like Callie Field. She's the EVP and Chief Customer Officer for T-Mobile, talks about how amazing experience T-Mobile actually has with our WebEx contact center. Then Javed facilitated an amazing discussion with 2 amazing CIOs who are customers of us, JLL, as well as the CTO of Chipotle, and Larissa facilitated an amazing cloud calling session with CDK Global, with AT&T, as well as with Verizon. And that's not it. For our broadcast sessions, we have 30 broadcast sessions, and every one of the sessions has one of our customers who have actually spoken with one of our product or our product marketing managers across the board. Then we also have an amazing lineup of technology partners who are going to talk about our integration, our interoperability, which is a big promise which we're actually going to make in the market. And Javed will take you through some of the important innovations which we are actually bringing to market. And last but not the least, we also have many, many analysts who are a part of the 30 breakout sessions. And then if you think about the keynote speakers, especially from Cisco, this is just a sample size of the keynote speakers. We have Todd Nightingale, as well as Fran, and Chuck is again opening our keynote. So again, if you think about the keynote list, as well as the breakout sessions, it is a jam-packed agenda with an amazing lineup of speakers, both internal as well as external. We also have a gift box, which went to a limited set of people. I've already started to see a lot of our analysts unveiling this gift box. And the gift box is an eco-friendly gift box. And as you can see over here, we did it basically based upon home, Office, anywhere in between, as well as a WebEx swag in order to basically deliver on the promise of hybrid work. Okay, my team has been hard at work in terms of being able to bring many assets post WebexOne in order to basically help you win. The 3 important primary assets, which is going to be available to you first thing in the morning tomorrow, is the hybrid workspaces ebook. Every one of the spaces you saw in as a part of the keynote is going to become a particular chapter, a particular page in this particular ebook, which will have all of the products across Cisco, both hardware as well as software, which you can now leverage in order to have that amazing conversation with your customers. And so that is going to be available. In addition to that, we are also going to launch WebexOne Wired. Think of this as a book of news. Microsoft does an amazing job in terms of announcing all of their deeper announcement. We are going to take it up a notch. And so on WebexOne.com tomorrow, we will have WebexOne Wired, which will take you deep into all of the amazing innovations and announcements, which Javed is actually going to unveil to you guys. And last but not the least, we also will have another ebook tied towards customer experience. And then we have also created a one-stop shop, a single place for all of our sellers and partners to go to in order to basically get a lot of these announcements which we are bringing to market on Sales Connect as well as on Partner Connect. Okay, so what is the call to action? Number 1, this is a unique opportunity for you guys to basically start the conversation with your customer with this ebook as well as the customer facing deck in order to showcase to them how they can actually reimagine hybrid work. Leverage the book because the book is a one-stop shop. It's got all of our products, and the goal is to basically sell to your customers and prospects each and every one of the spaces. The people should look at that particular ebook and say, I want 10 different quantities of this particular ebook. I'm just making that up. Yeah, you get it. So please leverage that and definitely visit the Sales Connect event hub, which becomes one-stop shop for everything with respect to WebexOne. With that, before I hand it off to Javed, I am actually going to play an amazing video, which you will actually see on day 1 with WebexOne. Our BU has been hard at work bringing 1,000+ innovations to market the last 1 year, which is purpose built when you think about hybrid work. Let's basically roll the video.
How do you elevate hybrid work?
Okay, Webex, start my meeting.
Looks noisy over there.
Can you hear me okay?
I can only hear you. Any questions? Let's take a poll.
Awesome. So with that, I want to hand it off to the team in order to basically run its first poll. And then we'll hand it back to Javed in order to actually share and unveil all of the innovations which are going to come at WebexOne.
I think we were going to do a poll. Let's see if we can get the results of that poll up. No? Okay. By the way, fantastic. Oh, there we go. I haven't participated in this poll. Which workspace room is your favorite? I think we've got solutions for all of these. Home office, and yes, depending upon whether you're in the kitchen or the bedroom or you have a dedicated space, we're going to be sharing some fantastic solutions tomorrow. Thank you for participating in the poll. It's amazing to see the Slido technology at work. And Aruna, thank you for that quick introduction to tomorrow. There's a lot packed in there. Amazing job by the team. Here's my kind of very simple ask to the rest of the to everybody listening. Team, it's time to play offense. I'm tired of playing defense. Some of the amazing innovations, the newer products that we're going to announce are going to put us firmly in a position where we should be able to go out there and win back customers, not just defend our existing base. So thank you, Aruna, for all the hard work the team's put in. I know this is the culmination of a lot of innovation and new products coming to market. I could not be more excited about the 2 days. So with that, let's switch over to the slides, and I wanted to spend the rest of the time, and we'll take questions at the end, going through some of the key announcements. If you move to the next slide, these are some of the key messages, but between the 2 days, you will also see a slightly different approach to our storytelling. All right, we want to move from selling meetings, selling calling, selling messaging, selling contact centers to a end user focused benefit way of telling our story. And that's how we structured the 2 days. So day one's going to be about how WebEx is reimagining hybrid work. Whether it's your workspace, which is now hybrid, or your workforce. And you noticed how the rooms that Aruna walked us through are going to be focused on solving for the problems when working in those environments. Yes, we'll use meetings. Yes, we'll use calling. Yes, we'll use messaging along the way, and we'll show off our innovation. We'll show off our devices. We'll show off our networking gear. But the way we're going to tell that story is going to be focused on how we are solving for those particular work styles. We're going to focus on things like employee well-being, leveling the playing field, whether you have access to a physical home office or you're working from the kitchen or from your bedroom. How are we leveling the playing field while making sure we are focusing on inclusion? You'll also see us pivot to a much more open ecosystem. So we'll announce interoperability with all of the other vendors out there to the extent we can. So that's going to be a big part of our messaging, which will allow us to use our software and hardware seamlessly, even if our customers have decided to use a different vendor. So that's a big theme. We will also talk about events, and to prove our point, the event is being run on Socio. So extremely excited about that. I think no better way to showcase our technology than reminding our customers that the event's being run on Socio and actually experiencing the event. You will find functionality that no other vendor has. This is outside of the actual broadcast, pre and post meeting functionality. And then continuing to drive home our security and manageability story. So that is an area where customers have always valued us. You'll see us continue to create distance for the competition. So that's some of the key messages. We've broken up the sessions, if you move to the next slide, into the following buckets. Now this slide, somebody reminded me, is not to scale. The customer experience section is a full day too. Some of the messages, the first 3 pillars here we'll cover during the first day, but we'll break that down into hybrid workspaces, which is how are we enabling hybrid workspaces using software, using network, and using our hardware. An amazing new set of announcements, and I'll double click into some of these. Hybrid workforce is about newer features focused around experiences, security, and new use cases, whether it's things like vidcast and whiteboarding, targeted towards the hybrid workforce. We'll lean in big time into hybrid events. So we will have the most complete hybrid events platform out there. And this is not just about large scale broadcasting of events like this, but also pre and post meeting capabilities that nobody else can compare with. We are essentially going to allow our customers to take out a bunch of other hybrid event tools that they might be using. Hybrid platform is deep integration across our portfolio, whether it's security, networking, and collaboration. And we are the only vendor out there that can combine those kinds of offerings and allow you to build a complete solution for your hybrid workspace. So you'll see a lot of talk about that, and software integration as well, whether it's DNA Center or DNA Spaces. And then the second day is focused on customer experience, and I'll go into this. The second day is completely focused around this. We've got the most complete platform. This is not just about a WebEx contact center. It's about things like CPaaS. It's about other low-code, no-code solutions. And we'll announce a new platform focused on customer journeys as well. So we'll talk to that on day 2. So let me double click into each of these areas. I'll touch upon some of the highlights. You have to watch the show tomorrow to get all the details, but let's first dive into hybrid workspaces. If you move forward to slide, so we will announce 3 new devices in addition to the availability of 3 additional devices that are on a subsequent slide. So the one I'm most excited about is the WebEx Desk Mini. Again, please don't talk about this until tomorrow. We want to make a big we have a big unveil tomorrow, and there's a few additional surprises here. We'll also refresh our WebEx board portfolio with a newer version of the WebEx board. It'll come in 55 and 75 inch with 2 active pens and dual cameras. And then we'll also we'll announce an upgraded headset. But let me come back to the Desk Mini. So targeted towards the home worker, something that you can carry around. You can easily move it around from your kitchen to your bedroom. At the same time, it's a smaller device for those of us who may not have dedicated spaces that a desk or a Desk Pro needs. And it's also going to be priced very aggressively. So with that, I don't know, were you going to roll a video for that? Yes, It is an amazing device, and I cannot wait to get that in the hands of our customers. Those who saw it last week, some of the customers that Aruna mentioned, they were just simply blown away. It has all of the rich functionality that the rest of our desks systems have, and it closes this gap that we have in our portfolio between the higher end devices and just customers using a camera. So extremely excited about it. And yes, it comes in multiple colors. So get it out to your customers starting tomorrow. Get the news out to your customers, and I know it's going to be an amazing success. Let's start to spread the word. So super excited about that. In addition to that, there's 3 other devices that we've talked about before that are now going to be either available or going to be shortly available. So that is the new WebEx headset 700 500 series, so upgrade versions of that. The Desk Hub is now orderable, and then the Desk Camera also gets an upgrade, both a software and hardware upgrade, so generation 2 of that. So 3 devices targeted again towards that hybrid worker, designed to work with your existing laptop as the primary device. So that will make our portfolio one of the broadest, all the way from a person wanting to just use the laptop to somebody with a dedicated space on their desk. We will also, on the next slide, we will also announce an upgraded version of our operating system on the devices. So Room OS 11, the largest upgrade to our software on the devices. Nora and team have done a fantastic job at not just redesigning the interface, but making it extremely performant, making sure it works well with home network type conditions, lots of improvements there, and support for third-party applications. So it's got new gestures that it recognizes, and it is going to be rolled out to all of our newer devices. This will allow for consistency all the way from the Desk Hub to the higher end room systems. So another big effort behind the scenes. I know that meant that the Desk Hub took a little longer to ship, but the consistency in operating system and the advanced capabilities here is just going to drive a new level of experience across software and hardware. And if you move to the next slide, the other big announcement, I talked about interoperability. Most of you probably already know that we announced support for Google Meet earlier last month. So we've got a Google Meet button on our devices, and we're going to extend that to Zoom later this year. So working directly with our competitors here in some cases to make sure we have support for Zoom meetings, Google, and we obviously already have support for Microsoft. Now, our approach to interop is very different from what others are doing. We are able to integrate with the calendar, which means you don't have to think about what your next meeting is, which meeting you're joining. You automatically have a join button show up, and you can join right from the operating system. What our competitors are doing requires you to often boot into a vendor's ecosystem before you can join that particular meeting, which is just not practical, by the way. So excited about how our team has approached this, and it'll open up tons of new opportunities for us on the devices front. One more feature on the next slide. So this is room booking within WebEx app. So we're extending the room booking capabilities using the same interfaces that our devices use to be able to book rooms. So you can just go into the WebEx app and book rooms. It hooks up to the same directory data that the devices use. So consistency across our software and hardware with this new feature. So let's switch to hybrid workforces. So hybrid workforces are features across our portfolio. And again, you'll notice me not talk about meetings, not talk about calling, not talk about messaging, because the platform is now integrated. These features are all integrated into the WebEx app. So there's a set of new functionality the team continues to add. You've heard us talk about 1,000+ innovations. So I'll touch upon some of the key ones that are new, that are going to be announced tomorrow. So first one, Team Insights. We announced People Insights. People Insights was focused on the individual well-being. We are now aggregating that information and making that available to you for your team. Obviously, no personal information in there. You won't be able to tell between an individual's data, but it'll allow you to see how your team is performing in terms of how much time they might be spending in meetings. Are they having too many back-to-back meetings? Are they spending enough time focused on work rather than just being in meetings? So Team Insights, a new functionality. It'll go into beta later this year and available early next year. We will also announce the next generation of audio intelligence. Our Babel Labs acquisition has been one of the most successful acquisitions. You guys already know it's integrated in the product. Background noise removal has been extremely successful. We've probably we've scrubbed tens of billions of minutes already. But Chris, Rowan, and team are now taking that to the next level. So we're going to have 2 new features announced. One is optimized for my voice. So when you are in a room, not only are we already removing background noise, but what if there's another person in the background? Do you want that person's voice included in the conversation or excluded in the conversation? Guess what? It depends. And optimized for my voice optimizes for my voice. Optimize for all voices optimizes for a person on the far end, and maybe enhances their voice so that they can participate in the conversation. So next generation audio intelligence, nobody comes close to this. And then people focus on the next slide. We've talked about this feature earlier this summer. This is using our camera technology on our devices to break up the streams from a conference room into multiple video streams, so you can see the difference between the before and after. And this is a real problem today as people are starting to get back in the office. Those in the office have a different view versus those remote. And this feature democratizes the people in the office by sending multiple streams so that people who are remote can now see and follow along the expressions or the reactions of people who might be in the office, something that would not be possible if you weren't physically in the conference room. So really cool technology here, very hard to imitate, by the way. So I'm amazed at the work that the team is doing, and we'll continue to create some distance with our devices with features like this one. And on the next slide, obviously Vidcast. We did announce a beta earlier this year, so Vidcast is going to, over time, be included in the WebEx suite. This is going to be an example of the kind of new tools and functionality you can expect us to add to the WebEx suite, continue to pack it with more and more functionality. So Vidcast, for those of you who don't know, allows you to create and share video asynchronously. We're using it internally in my group, and it's amazing how many meetings it has helped us reduce. And I can't believe I'm saying that, but less meetings is actually a good thing, because sometimes you are having meetings and they can be replaced with a short video message that the host or a small group of people record. So that's Vidcast. It's already in beta. We're going to continue to expand, open that beta up, and look for that to make its way into the WebEx suite. The next slide talks about another big improvement, enhancement to our platform. It's embedded apps. The embedded apps framework we announced earlier this year. We're going to now have an inaugural 11 or 12 apps as part of the WebEx application on the meeting side that we'll announce. You're seeing some of the logos there, and that list is going to get longer very, very quickly. You'll see some of those partners join us on stage tomorrow. One such example, my favorite, Uber Eats. So I use this as an example. So imagine if in the context of a meeting or in the context of a WebEx space, you hand out coupons to people in the who are participating in the conversation, and they can individually order stuff on Uber Eats. So it's an example of where we can take the integration framework, and we've gotten really, really good feedback from our partners. Our integration also is a lot more complete and thorough versus the other versus the competition, where our partners have access to things in the context of a meeting that allows them to enable use cases like the ones that I just described. It's not just a pop out into a third-party website. And then another exciting addition to the calling side of the house. So WebEx Go is a new feature that we announced last week. You've probably seen the press release around this. So this is bringing business calling to personal devices. A big problem today is when you are remote, people are using their personal phones for making phone calls. That often exposes your personal phone number and identity to people that maybe you didn't want to expose your phone number to, and this solves for that. Now, this is different from just the traditional eSIM technology. The business line is going to be connecting to the Cisco cloud, to WebEx calling. What that means is you now have the full power of business calling available on the second phone line. So what does that really mean? So you can do things like hunt groups. You can do things like extension dialing. You can, at the end of the day, tell your phone number to not stop ringing and go to voicemail. That is not available on a second phone line or a second phone number. So we'll be working with our partners on this. Expect this to be commercially available early next year, but we are already indeed working to the integration with our mobile carriers to bring this to market. So extremely exciting functionality here. And it's going to solve a big pain point for our business calling customers and continue to grow that business. Other integrations on the next slide. On the fun side of things, we'll be integrating with Snap filters. So this will allow you to not just have special lenses that alter your appearance if you may so choose, and also bitmojis. So bringing fun aspects to the WebEx messaging and the meetings interface, and expect more here as we expand our partner ecosystem. Lots of interest from our partners to add here. Next, I'm going to switch over and talk about hybrid events. So the third theme that you'll see on day one is hybrid events, and this is the bringing together of the world's most comprehensive events platform. So Abhay and team have, over the last 6 to 9 months, significantly expanded the scale of our core WebEx events platform. So we now have both webinar and webcast capabilities. The number of supported participants have been significantly expanded. Now we are combining that with hybrid events capabilities from Socio, which is a full-fledged events platform, covers pre-meeting and post-meeting, pre-event and post-event capabilities, and also physical event capabilities. and we are integrating Slido in there. So if you move to the next slide, with Socio, we are reimagining how events are conducted. Most of our customers are using a combination of a traditional meetings platform and a third party to pull off these events. With the WebEx suite, you will get all of that. So Socio is going to be integrated and available as part of the suite. And the second thing we've done is, on the next slide, we are also integrating Slido as the default polling and Q&A solution for Socio. So you can see these three platforms coming together and more importantly being made easily available via a single suite license. Nobody else comes close to this in terms of the breadth of functionality. So experience it yourself tomorrow. It is amazing, and I continue to be blown away. And by the way, the screenshots you're seeing are beautiful, and these are actually the Socio platform live. So that's the hybrid events. The other theme you'll hear about throughout the day tomorrow is what we are calling the hybrid platform. So this is integrating the rest of Cisco's assets, both from a commercial and from a software and end user benefit standpoint. So we've got significant assets in the form of Meraki, Thousand Eyes, and our core DNA networking technology backed by DNA Spaces. So you'll see us announce a host of features there, and this is not just a commercial kind of play, but this is end user benefit that we think we can deliver. So let me talk about three of these things. So one is the visibility, if you move to the next slide, within Meraki Insight. So making Meraki Insight available now will allow you to double click into the performance of WebEx traffic on your network. So it's going to be WebEx aware, which allows you to now drill down and look at potential problems you might be having or things you can do to further improve your experience. So Meraki Insight will be WebEx aware. And if you move to the next slide, integration with Thousand Eyes. So we've deployed Thousand Eyes across our global network, and we will use that data in conjunction with data from the WebEx app to now be able to correlate end-to-end potential problems or improvements. We will have visibility like nobody else does. Normally, you have to install these agents globally all over the world, but because of how we've placed these agents and the work we've done with the Thousand Eyes team, you will now be able to see, a particular SP who might be having a problem, or an alternate path that has just higher efficiency. So deep integration between the WebEx data centers, Thousand Eyes, the WebEx app, and the Thousand Eyes console will allow for visibility like nothing else. Finally, we'll talk about DNA Spaces, and I'm super excited about this. So DNA Spaces on the next slide allows you to have a complete view of your office space. So DNA Spaces has always had a view from a networking and switching standpoint, how many they're able to see the location of users, utilization. But when you combine that with capability we've had in Control Hub and data we get from our devices, so things like room utilization, how many people in the room, people counting, even environmental metrics like ambient noise and temperature. There's a new DNA Spaces console that we'll unveil that shows you the view, a 3D view of your campus. And that can be used not just to make decisions about should I go into the office and how many spaces are available in the office, but also allows you to navigate the office space, and that will be integrated into consoles that we will make available. So that's the third piece. You can see in this section something that only Cisco can do. Right? You're combining information from our collaboration software assets, collaboration hardware assets, and our networking assets, and then making that available in ways that nobody else can. So super excited about that. So that's all in day one. And the second day is going to be focused on customer experiences. A lot of interest, if you move to the next slide, a lot of talk and interest over here around customer experiences. and there's been attempted acquisitions that didn't quite go through, but it points to a fact that the collaboration platform and the customer experience platform have to come together. And this is something we've been working on for a long time. So I feel really good about the head start we have here. But this is also about moving beyond the contact center, beyond the cookie cutter calling centric contact center. This is about a complete customer experience platform. Now, before I kind of go into that, I think there's a video that Runavi wanted to roll on day 2. So this is day 2.
Yep. So we played day 1 hype video, and this is going to be played in the opening of day 2, because we want to send a clear-cut message that customer experience is going to be a very, very important part of our portfolio as we move forward.
Hi, I'm a customer. We need to talk. We, the customers, want to be heard. We'd like you to know our names the first time. Meet us where we are. Sometimes we're okay with a text. Sometimes we want an actual person. Answer our questions and fix problems the first time. We want your people to be prepared. Give them the tools they need. Use technology to map the way to our joy. If our problem goes deep, go to the source. Bring in the experts. We're not here to complain. We just want to be happy with the choices we make. We want to be happy with you. So what can you do to elevate our experience? Meet us where we are. Reach out when you see a problem, before it's a problem. Make every journey end with a solution, and we'll give you 5 stars. We'll shout out your praises. We'll tell a friend, even 5 friends, and we'll keep coming back.
So we will spend our time talking about customer experience, not just the traditional contact center use case. And this is the big difference between how we are approaching this going forward. Right? For a successful end-to-end customer experience, it's not just about an efficient call queue that you call into and get an answer. It's in fact about avoiding that phone call. It's about avoiding those problems. So we've focused on building a platform, and this is where what you'll hear on day 2 is the integration, the complete integration of the IMI assets into what we had been building with our contact center, and that allows us to do things that nobody else does. There's vendors out there in the space who are focused on one or the other. We are the only vendor who's going to be able to do both those things, and better yet, it's integrated with the collaboration platform your employees are using. So what are the 5 main problems that you need to solve? And this is what you'll hear throughout the day. Number 1, you have to be able to listen and collect information about your customer interactions. And this could actually be a customer interaction that originally started off with an attempt to buy, not an attempt to get a problem resolved. Secondly, how do you engage with the customers, right? Are you just doing that through phone calls, or are you able to do that through a rich set of digital channels, i.e. where and how they want to engage? And this is where our IMI assets are now completely integrated. Thirdly, how do you augment that integration, that engagement with AI and rich set of AI assets, whether it's the Voicea acquisition or learning from transcripts. So you'll see us talk about that. And then as you learn from these insights, how do you predict what the best customer experience should be? And then finally, adapting. So how do you adapt the customer journeys on the fly? Right, which is the leveraging the ability to send text messages or lower no-code capabilities. And that is the full customer journey. And we will announce a new integrated customer experience platform, if you move to the next slide, which allows our customers to do all of that. I know this is a little busy slide, but the top portion of the slide is out-of-the-box assets available as part of the Webex Contact Center or extensions to it, which allow an agent to do their job. So when there is a customer interaction, there's a brand new console. You have the ability to integrate with various channels. The agent automatically can interact with those channels. They can participate in a conversation with the customers, and then a lot of the notifications are over here. Webex Notify, Webex Campaign are powered by the IMI tools that we have. So a rich set of applications for that customer interaction, but more importantly, it's built on top of a communication platform, which we are calling Webex Connect. So this is a combination of the IMI CPaaS platform, but also video assets and AI assets that Cisco had. So we'll make that available via a rich set of APIs. So you can now customize how you interact with your customers and make that experience better. And then there'll be a new announcement around a journey data service. So this is a new service we'll announce, which allows customers to hook up their business systems into a data platform, because without that data, it's very hard to make decisions. It's impossible to make decisions, educated decisions about how you engage with your customers. So on the next slide, we talk about the kinds of data that the new journey data service will aggregate and make available, so that you can now use the rest of the CPaaS platform to continuously improve the journey for your customers. So the customer experience platform from Cisco is not just about enabling the agent, which we will do with a rich set of tools, but it's about learning from those engagements and learning from things like website visits, learning from real-time journey tracking maybe on your website, and then analyzing and making decisions via these APIs, adjusting the experience customers have. And then finally, we will continue. We will also unveil improvements to the WebEx Contact Center. This is the agent console here that you're seeing. We've now integrated most of the IMI Connect digital channels. We'll continue to add the rest. We have a new AI bot builder, and we'll also show off deep integration with the WebEx app. So this is what our competition was trying to do through acquisitions. We already have it, which is the WebEx Contact Center. Allows you now as an agent to communicate with internal employees using your existing platform, whether it's a quick message or a video call to get answers to some of the tougher questions. And then finally, we'll also announce the new CPaaS developer sandbox. So this is the bottom layer over there. It's built on top of the IMI developer sandbox, but we're going to start to add video and AI APIs into it. There's a quick sign up and trial process that we are enabling. So our customer experience customers, our contact center customers, can now start to experiment with these APIs so that they can further augment that customer experience journey that they're building. So very excited about this because it's the most complete platform out there. I know we still have some work to do in terms of scale and geo footprint. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. But we have all of these technologies coming together nicely, and you'll hear from Omar, Giorgio, and the rest of the team. So that is day 2. And with that, I think, again, a reminder, team, before I hand it back to Aruna, please wait till tomorrow. I know you're all probably eager and dying to talk about this and externally, but let's wait till tomorrow before we kind of tweet or talk about this publicly. It's going to be an exciting event. Team, it is time to play offense. I feel like we do have the portfolio across both employee experiences and customer experiences, the best experiences out there. Let's go sell this to our customers. So with that, I think I'm turning it back to you. Or now we're taking questions.
We are going to hand it back to Scott and team to basically, Scott, anything else you would like to add, and then we can go into questions.
Hey, thank you, Aruna. Yeah, again, Javed, thank you a ton. Aruna, thank you so much for sharing. I just want to reinforce, our thanks in terms of everything that's been done to get ready for the event, everything that's been done in terms of, having these world-class capabilities and features and world-class hardware showcased tomorrow, and having the messaging ready for our customers and partners globally. And again, I mean, I was weighing in on Javed's comments real time. This is an opportunity for us to be super bold in the market. This is an opportunity to be unapologetic about how we approach our customers, unapologetic about how we approach our partners. And this truly is, from a consolidated and integrated perspective across customer experience, through hybrid work, through hybrid workspaces. This truly is an incredible story. So I'm eager to shout it from the rooftops. I can't wait until post WebexOne so I can start shouting about it. And with that said, I'm going to move it to Miss Stephanie, I believe, who's going to have some Q&A real time.
And thank you to all our presenters today. Lots of great questions coming in. Aruna, everyone is loving all of the videos, as you expect. So first question, Aruna, so the 1-minute trailer that you showed at the beginning, is there any way that they can get this available to use today as an enticement to get their customers to register?
You want me to let me take that? No.
Okay.
No, answer is no. Let's wait till tomorrow. We don't want to have tomorrow's show today, but understand why Fred and team are asking that question. But I think let's get everybody excited about what they're going to see and not show them what they're going to see. So
Great. Thank you, Javed.
24 more hours.
24 more short hours, folks.
Hey, Javed, I wish you'd be a bit more decisive. So maybe we can work on that in the future. That would be great.
I'll try. But I understand the sentiment,
Yeah.
but we want to keep the excitement for tomorrow.
So main thing, I think why Javed and I would not like to share it is, guys, because it not only has the 1,000+ innovations from, before, it also has our new devices, and we cannot afford that to get out. And that is the main reason why we cannot share that.
Great. Thank you. And I think there'll be several of those answers today, but we'll keep going. So next question, Mark Nash, coming to you. As we get people excited to come back to WebEx from Teams or Zoom, have we thought about investing in building migration tools for them to do so?
And I'll go through just a couple real quick. The first one is there's a great website for our customers to go to, our own sellers and our partners to go to, called essentials.webex.com. There is all sorts of content there about technical, getting started, adoption kits, all that type of stuff. You heard Javed speak about all of the interop work that we're going to be announcing at WebexOne 21. And then if you want to break it down by workloads, the one that we hear most of the time is around messaging. And obviously we have a strong partnership with m.io and all sorts of ways to migrate messages, files, other persistent content. And then when it comes to meetings, it's a lot about calendar integration. And so there's tools available to make it so that new users can easily add WebEx to their meetings or update existing meetings. And then even beyond that, Abhay and team are working really hard on some bulk migration tools. So if we end up moving customers over, there's a great ability for them to just, with IT, migrate all those meetings straight to us. So good stuff coming.
Javed, did you want to add anything there?
Yeah, and I think there's other specific suggestions, happy to kind of take that feedback from the team. I do think the migration friction is a lot higher, to Mark's point, on the messaging side. The meetings friction tends to be a lot lower, but maybe if you miss something, please let us know. But definitely working on the messaging pieces. Yeah.
Great. Okay. Let's see. Javed, another question for you, and you may not know the answer to this one. Will WebEx employees have access to the Executive Series headset, or is that something IT will need to decide?
I was thinking that the request is going to be about the mini, not the headset, but
I think we have one of those later.
What we are working with Jackie and Fletcher on is a revisiting of the entire employee work from home kind of box, if I may, right? Which is, what does an employee have access to so that they can be productive from home? And that's not just about headsets, but it's also about device and actually the Meraki gear. So we just shipped so many devices that we've got IT all excited. So they're working on updated kind of work from home boxes for employees, and I expect that there'll be both headset and camera available as part of that, but you have to work with your individual managers later this year to start to get those.
Great, thank you. Okay, Aruna, coming out of the event, what are some of the most important highlights that we should be reiterating with our customers?
So I would say two important things, which I shared earlier. One is being able to sell a lot of our beautiful devices as well as our software. And that is why we are actually building this ebook, which is the hybrid work ebook with the 14 different spaces. Every room, think of every room as a SKU, guys. And so the goal is to basically sell a boatload of those SKUs for each particular room, because in each room, we are going to unveil many, many, many devices, as well as our underlying software. And so that ebook is going to be available starting first thing tomorrow. And in addition to that, if people actually want to watch how those devices come to life in a virtual form, the 20-minute video, which you saw a trailer today with the Javed section, that is also going to be ready for you to basically go in order to share with your customers. So that's one asset. The second asset, again, like I said, is about customer experience. So we are also going to have an ebook on customer experience. Between these two assets, you basically have the most important things which are actually needed in order to sell a big part of our portfolio. And in the ebook, we are also going to have the positioning, which will compare all of our beautiful devices, the desk series, the board series, the headset series, the desk and the room series. So there is going to be 4 positioning slides, very simple bullet points with the pricing as well for you to basically take in front of your customers.
Great. Javed, anything to add there?
No, I think Aruna covered that. Yeah.
Okay, great. Mark, coming back over to you. So does the Zoom meeting integration need an additional license from WebEx or on the Zoom side?
No, it does not. In the beginning, our devices interoperated with Zoom natively, and then Zoom obviously attempted to start charging for that interoperability, and so we've yet innovated again. And the new way in which we're integrating is included in both subscriptions. So we're good.
Right. Okay. Next question, Javed. If we can answer this today or if it has to wait till tomorrow. Cisco headphones in collaboration with B&O.
Will these wait till tomorrow?
Okay, so we will wait till tomorrow for that answer. Okay, let's see. So Javed, another one about whiteboarding. Will we be discussing how we will unify our whiteboarding story across all of WebEx?
Yes, so that is a part of one of the announcements, and one of the challenges we've had is, we've got cool new whiteboarding functionality we started building, but it was in this little island by itself, and more importantly, those whiteboards were like locked away in a little locker in some ways. So we are going to announce a beta of a standalone whiteboarding application, which now allows you to bring those whiteboards together. So and then that'll start to become available as part of meetings, and then we'll build on that. So yes, that is the goal there.
Great. Okay, Mark, you talked about this a little bit already, but another question: Zoom interop, is it still SIP only?
No. So this is using yet another standard, WebRTC, and significant improvements even beyond the way it was before. And so really looking forward to everybody getting an opportunity to try that. But better if all of our devices were joining more and more WebEx meetings.